Okay, good afternoon and welcome everybody to the S.H.O.P on tour social hub of positivity here in the lovely, one of the oldest towns in Europe, Stari Grad. Stari Grad in Croatia. It's a very beautiful place, very lovely people, fantastic football team. But more fantastic than the football team is this wonderful lady here. Hazel, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm very good. I'm very impressed with lots of stuff, but as we can probably talk a little bit about, your wonderful daughter who's representing Kandu on this trip and did a fantastic presentation. But let's talk about that in a minute. Let's talk a bit about yourself and about your experiences and what you do for a living as well, which I find quite fascinating. I know, because these things are about real people generally, unless they're sort of counsellors or stuff, but genuine people normally. So, Stari Grad. Hazel, tell us a little bit about yourself. One second.
Guys, can you just be quiet? We're just filming a podcast. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you should be sorry.
We told the girls they're doing really good.
This is the local one. I'm literally just trying to...
What do you want to know?
Well, I want to know what you do for a living. I'm quite fascinated.
Oh.
I know. I want these people to know how diverse it is.
I'm a local chimney sweep in the Chippenham area. I tend to go on about a 25-mile radius. And then...
Yeah, but
So
how
what do you
many...
wanna know about
well, just that... A, how do you get into it? And B, is it something you want to do? And C, how many females do chimney sweeping? Is that a thing? Do you know any others?
I know two others, yeah.
She's also my chimney sweep, or our chimney sweep, just in case anyone...
Yeah, I know of two others. They're not very local to us, though.
Yeah.
I got into it really through my husband. And he wanted
Dick
to...
Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Hey, chim. Stop it. Yeah, right, okay. So he was involved first.
He was involved with the chimney sweeping first, yes.
Yeah.
I used to just sit in the background and do the sort of paperwork and office work, the boring stuff. And then he wanted to go back doing his carpentry job.
Yeah.
Got a bit bored of the industry and a bit frustrated, and I thought, well, it'd be a shame to lose everything you've built up, so I took it over.
That's fantastic. So between chimney sweeping and also something I only found out today, you also do some care work as well.
I do indeed, yes.
It's like solid gold. Yeah, that is an amazing thing. I mean, unfortunately, we live in a world where, you know, the things that are really valuable, like people caring for each other and the people who need particular types of care, it's not as readily available as it should be, or prioritised in the way it should be. I mean, we unfortunately live in a country that prioritises parties in Parliament or in Downing Street more than people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely an industry that could do with a lot more input from its communities and things. Yeah, they are struggling to find carers.
Well, it's not because of the lack of care, is it? It's the lack of finance that goes with it. Not that people just do it for the money. It's a vocation a lot of the time. But the pandemic, I mean, has that not... How I mean, I definitely keep going on about this because I think, you know, I often say to people, they say, why do you always have a pop of politicians? Because not enough people do. How we have a system that we do, it just beggars belief on a local and a national level and an international level. So whatever people think about what's going on in Ukraine, which is appalling, America and England have done that many times in recent years, and I don't even want to bring in Ireland into this, but I will. So care work is essential. How do you find it? What's your vibe with it?
I mean, I really enjoy it. It's so rewarding. You know, you really get to know the individual and in a sort of nice, friendly manner. It's good to get a rapport with them and go out for coffee or take them shopping.
Yeah,
and
general relationship building.
Yeah, get a general relationship building, and it's really rewarding. It makes you feel like you've achieved something for the day.
Yeah.
You know, just giving someone that extra helping hand so that they can have a bit more independence within the world.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to have these
it's a great
sunglasses on,
feeling.
do I?
You do.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never ever looked cool, but I'll go with it just in case.
You know, it's a great feeling, and I mean, you know, you probably get a lot of that yourself with working with the children that you work with. You know, it's very extremely rewarding.
Yeah,
and it really
100%.
satisfying.
Yeah, 100%. A bit, and people don't realise actually that we don't just work with young people. We work with adults. We work in lots of different areas. We work on the sustainable development agenda, up and down the country with, you know, major. I say I historically with other people. The general bulk of the work that happens in Chippenham with our crew is our alternative education, which is literally how we got to know you, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So say a bit more about that, because that's actually quite a nice way that's developed. For how many years do we think it is?
About 3 years now.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah, so my daughter Chanel's been attending Kandu for about 3 years now, when the education system has unfortunately failed her and couldn't help with her educational needs, and Kandu kindly took her on board and under their wing.
I mean, it's one of them ones, isn't it? We were saying that actually the head teacher at the school, they're fantastic, and they had tried.
They were fantastic, and they did try hard.
And I do think that along with a lot of other alternative education providers, quite fortunate in around Wiltshire, there's some really top alternative education providers, and we work in partnership with lots of them. You're right, it's a joy. And the schools, I mean, you know, we talked about the care system. I don't think teachers and head teachers get enough support, enough finance, not just finance, but it's the whole psychological approach to what is it we're expecting from an education system.
Yeah.
Because there's a saying that, you know, it's particularly in the world that we live in, they'll never educate you enough or so much as that you learn to bring down the system.
Yeah.
Because anyone would have a sort of cold reality and think, what are the priorities in our communities or in our world communities? And they never seem to be about the masses of people. But going back to Chanel, you're completely right. Absolutely a joy.
Yeah, it was just a system that didn't work for her as an individual.
Yeah.
And you've got to remember that you can't always, one system cannot fulfill every child's need. That's just impossible. You know, there are going to be people that don't quite fit into
Well, it's a one size
regime.
fits all. It's absurd. We send our teenagers, who obviously their body clocks have changed, to school at a time when they don't want to get up. The body clocks tell them they shouldn't be getting up. We as adults who have been through teen years should realise, and the only reason we put that children go to school when they do is so that the parents can get on the treadmill and just make and create money for other people, generally, for themselves to a degree, but it's not good. Our priorities in our societies let down the majority of people, and the teachers, and like the nurses and the doctors. None of the people who have these vocations get the right support. And people can say that, you know, this whole thing about, well, they get such big holidays. Well, I don't know. Our classes are generally crowded, under-resourced, both emotionally, physically, spiritually, in every way, not by the individuals that are giving their lives towards teaching. And so, because we work with amazing head teachers and amazing colleagues in all the schools that we work with. Bristol, Bath, we work in a big wider area than Wiltshire, and up and down the country in lots of ways, but it's the same wherever we go. And now, as you know, because we've just been in a school over here, it was exactly the same. It looked different. Class sizes were completely small, but then this is a very small island comparatively. Again, they're doing amazing stuff, but we as a society need to really, the collective people in our society need to look at what our priorities are. Why is it we get such a poor deal from our collective endeavour? Because who creates all the taxes? Who creates all the who works for these people that do little or nothing to get their money? And I mean the royals and everyone else when I'm saying that. I'm still fascinated to hear what people actually think the Queen ever did for a job. I'm being serious. It's like,
could you imagine?
No, I can't. Only from cutting things and waving at people. It's like, what do people think? If we didn't have a queen, how does France work? You know, they say it's about tourism. Well, how come Stonehenge has historically been one of the biggest tourist attractions? So none of the arguments work, and yet our classes are over crowded, and our schools are under resourced. Anyway, back to Chanel. So actually the schools in Chippenham are fantastic. We work alongside them. they realise that that's a good fit, and you're here to testify that they were right.
Yeah, they were
Right.
they were correct. You know,
Yeah.
she didn't fit into that
This
standard
blackcurrant's
regime
gorgeous.
that most people are pushed into, and so you know that's when you guys kind of stepped in and said, you know, she's the kind of girl that we can help, and yeah, you've been working with her ever since.
And what a joy! You're not wrong there. So for anyone who doesn't know, and that's the majority of people who watch this, were you as surprised as I was when she turned and presented to this school, to the classroom of 40, which is the same age really, weren't they?
They
The
were,
children.
yes, yeah.
And spoke to them in Croatian. I'm married to a Croatian. I can only just say Luka Modric a lot, and Dobar dan. That's it.
We're going to tell you a little bit about our the town we come from, and Chanel is going to show you some pictures of what we do in England. We have an alternative school, so but we should start.
So just if you can speak slower than your normal pace, because they are able to understand you.
Yeah.
This is original native language.
It is.
And
I'm doing it in Croatian now.
She's doing a little bit of Croatian because
Hey, I can
we
do
were
the first
learning.
two paragraphs.
We were
practicing so hard.
Hey, I know like the first two paragraphs.
Okay then.
we had a little introduction.
That's okay.
We were learning Croatian when we were in England.
Okay.
Okay.
Wiltshire.
And then you can help us with the accent and everything.
If they want.
Yeah. So what do you want to say?
Okay.
Bok, kako ste, sevim u Chanel, sovim se Chanel, ševim u čipnim u tvoje grad u UK. UK se sastoji od 4 čokave, države, to so engleska, skotska, severna, eska, i Wales?
Wales.
And then it goes, glavni gladovi, so gladovi, so London, Cardiff, Edinburgh, i Belfast. Engleska ima 48 regija. Jedna od njih je Wiltshire, kojem je Chippenham. Kandu Arts je alternativna škola, so kojoj se uči sport, film, gluma, umjetnost, muzika, I got that bit, muzika, kuhanje, i igre.
So now you can say it in English, right?
English probably be better.
Now you can say it in English.
I will say it in English.
Yeah, so
Slowly.
it's really difficult for English to learn Croatian. We
I
tried.
worked hard.
Well done. We worked hard. So you want to say what it means in English so they
I
learn
will.
what it means in
I
English?
will say it in English.
Yeah.
So that means, hi, how are you? My name is Chanel. I live in Chippenham. That is a town in the UK. The UK is made up out of 4 countries: England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. The capital cities are London, Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Belfast. England is. Sorry, what did I do that? Okay.
Slower.
I did it slower. England has 48 continents. Is that right? No, regions. One of which is Wiltshire. Chippenham is where Kandu Arts. No, Chippenham is, and then Kandu Arts is an alternative school where I attend, where I do sports, music, film, drama, cooking, and games.
Yes. So we put some pictures together that show the region we live in. It also has loads of fields just like
Have you
grass.
heard of any of these phenomena?
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge would be one
Have
of
you
them.
heard of Stonehenge?
You've got the
The
white
circles
houses.
in the field.
See that place there?
This is where Harry Potter was filmed.
To Harry Potter?
That'd be done in later.
Wow.
That would be later.
That's a city near where we live, which is called Hvar.
Mr. Chaucer.
And this is where Chippenham is on the map of England. This is the region Chippenham is. And this is a picture of Chippenham.
That's the town centre.
It has a river going through, so we don't have the sea where we have a river. And this is where Kandu Arts is, so that's our school. And this is where we have a community center. And this is Chanel and Kandu Arts and all the things she did and learned while being with us. So you can say what you're doing in each
Why did you say that Croatian?
Because this is an English.
Recording a song.
Oh, this is English class.
Yeah.
It's
This is English.
No, it's not. It's just, but it's quite alright, you know, it's something interesting
I
for them
actually
to
can't
know,
remember
so
that.
don't worry.
Cool.
Hey, that's my
This is where you got your arts award.
my bronze arts award to be.
Yeah. They did
Oh,
some
yeah,
music.
Yeah, that's
And
for
don't stop.
Ukraine.
Don't stop
So
the
we're
leading.
raising money for Ukrainian people.
Yeah, but I can't.
So we played some
Don't
music
stop the
to
leading.
raise money for Ukraine.
Oh yeah, that's really kind of cool.
We play games, we grow vegetables, we have a garden.
You
We
just
grow vegetables. This is when we were having Zoom classes during coronavirus. We were having classes on, I'm sure you had those as well on your computer.
There's no volume yet.
We have it.
Oh, is there one? No,
There's no volume.
Or is there? There should be.
So explain what this is, man.
This is me singing, but there's
Yeah,
no
that's
volume.
easy to understand.
Oh, this one is Jar of Hearts. I should know it.
Still not like I was thinking. I'm thinking, what is it that you're doing there? What's that part?
Open mic.
Explain that then, because that's not as normal.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
have
Yeah,
an
oh my
open
God.
mic night where people send their songs and music and then we put it on our Facebook. And we also have it, that was during COVID for the last 2 years, but we also organize it in town so people come and play music and everyone can perform. So we get ready and have performances on our
Oh,
open
you can hear it a
mic.
little bit.
Yeah, true.
Lost boy.
That is a song written by Ruth B.
Sorry, do you have this audio for this? Is it just on you or?
You can hear it a little bit. There is a little
Okay,
bit.
because I can attach the speakers to it so they hear it better, so it's a shame. Oh, I hear it now, sorry, not in the background with all the noise.
This is the video we made where Chanel is singing this song called Cherry.
Now even Sherry.
This
It's
is
a
also
cover
chicken.
song. Yeah, it's filmed in Chippenham, so you can see what our town is like.
Were you shocked? Because
Wow,
they
she
kept it
did
from us. I didn't know
amazing.
that was going to happen.
She did absolutely amazing.
Beyond
Yeah.
amazing.
She did so well and she practiced so hard.
Yeah, but did you see her practicing at home then?
No, I never saw
Did
any of it.
you know any of this?
No, I didn't. I didn't
Right.
find out until you found out.
Which was
On the journey here.
Yeah, but I kind of did and I didn't. I didn't really understand what the, and then when they did the presentation, I have to say, really proud on behalf of her endeavours. I did hear her speaking today that she now wants an hour's lesson to develop her Croatian from now on, because obviously we want to keep her involved in the cultural exchange and aspect of it. But she's like, how brave is that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's so brave.
Isn't it?
Standing in front of complete strangers in a foreign country, in
Yeah.
a foreign language, and then just being able to stand there and do that. That's really brave. She's come leaps and bounds over the last few years.
Yeah, but it's, as I say, and obviously she's got a very supportive family, and you know, her auntie did work experience last week.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, and they come to the after school groups, and she's great, isn't she? Actually, she gets other young people like herself a lot of the time, and recommends them, not for the daily education bit, but the after school groups.
After-school
So
club,
we get to
yes.
meet lots of her friends and what have you. She's doing the singing at our open mics. She did it online.
Yes, she did the busking for the Ukrainian funds.
Oh, beyond. Absolutely,
front
that
of all
lovely.
those
She
people.
did that beautiful, her own original song. She worked really hard with Annie Trafford Walker. What a beautiful combination that was. We saw that on the presentation in the school. I was like, oh my God, that is beautiful.
Yes.
So, and obviously her music videos and stuff. When she goes back, she's going to have sort of specialists from Guillaume Mitchell, who's a really fantastic musician. She's going to get concentrated music. So I don't know if I told you that.
No, you
No,
haven't
I
actually.
I tell you that because I had to talk to, as you know, not negotiate, but talk to Chanel about would that be something that she would like to do, because he's incredible at what he does. And she's like, yep, absolutely. And that's right. And I heard talking to Maya saying, I'd like to do an hour of Croatian every week. I was thinking, well, that's hard, but
That's
we'll
really
see how
tough.
that goes. Because this is the first time you've both been on a plane, you've both been abroad. What's that meant to you guys?
Oh, well, we've had such an amazing trip. Yeah, it's been very enlightening. I think experience.
Yeah. She doesn't want to go back, does she?
She doesn't know.
Right.
I don't think I do either.
Bless
It's
you.
amazing
Bless
here.
you. Oh, you're so sweet. But you know what? You guys have made it amazing, because, I mean, Georgia has to do this as a job.
So hard.
It's
great,
She
isn't
does
it?
that, but she does.
Do you want to
This is-
swap?
this is-
You can be
do
the
chimney
chimney
sweep.
sweep.
You
You
would
can be the
love
chimney
that.
sweep. I'll be the, you know.
Imagine what your mum
video
said.
recorder.
Going to university to do journalism, ended up as a chimney sweep. Nothing wrong with being a chimney sweep. You're one. You're great. It's a great job, and I love you doing our chimney. It's a very useful job. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that actually, that you two hadn't been before. Obviously, that you hadn't been on a plane, you hadn't been abroad. It's like, oh, okay, that's it. That's a pleasure. But she's been involved in the planning of this, remembering that we did loads of planning and loads of whatever pre-lockdown.
Pre-COVID,
So for a young person with some of the challenges that Chanel's got, to be able to focus, to keep that going and to believe in it, that's why it was really important to make it happen. And it will extend, and like we were talking, as you know, to the head teacher from the school in Stari Grad, about how it's going to develop over the next year and stuff. And we're going to come back, we're back in August to do some filming, to do film with the young people and other bits of the community, and then back in the winter. So I want to see how that fits in with what Chanel's doing, because also we want to get the children from here over to England. So again, we're thinking about how to fundraise for all of that as well.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
she's brilliant. What was she saying she was going? Oh, the jewellery stuff and everything.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She's relentless in a good way.
She's
keeps
good at
going.
finding ideas of
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
try and make something work.
Between you both of you, you did the whole thing about the White Horse Challenge, didn't you?
Yes.
Which is what we
That's
were planning.
Still in discussion.
Of course
yes,
it is, yeah. But
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
it's in discussion, it's negotiation, and that's how it should be. But what a great idea. Anyway, I think that's enough for today. How are you about this? You cool?
Fabulous.
Right. So, anything else you want to say?
No, I don't
Okay.
think
Do you think
so.
should we interview Chanel on the back of this?
I think so, yeah.
Kushti.
Absolutely.
Right. Hold it
yeah.
2 seconds. Where is she? Oh, she's over there. Chanel. Oh, Chanel.
She's
She's
hiding.
coming.
Is she running away?
Do you want to talk or not? You don't have to.
She does. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, Chanel, how are you? Keep coming.
Good, thanks, Ed.
Excellent. Well done. We've just been talking. I don't know if you hear what me and your mum were saying.
I was sat there.
Right, I can't see you because there's actually some sort of plants and
I
stuff.
saw her.
Well, you're at a different angle. That's good though, so you kind of know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
So I'll just do it very quickly. How about this? Well done, and thank you on behalf of Kandu for that you did such a fantastic job and made us really proud. What's it like being on your first trip abroad?
It feels good. It's
Yeah?
nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was it like when you got on the plane?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We've got live shots of every step.
That is
remember?
true, you do.
Yeah. And what about? So, what's your favourite bit? What's the favourite part of it that you've
I
done?
say my favourite bit would be...
Don't say me being pushed into pool because that is just ridiculous.
That would be one of the bits that
Wow.
I enjoyed because that was hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't me that did it this time. Although me
This
just
time?
Who was it?
me just planned it, to be fair. It was meant to be like the
Yeah.
other day when you went down to get them, but they never came up.
It's great.
I need to
Well,
see this. we'll insert here.
I don't know.
I do.
I don't know if the people at home are watching this on a Sunday evening want to see yours truly like a beached whale getting thrown. Anyway, besides that, what has been your favourite part?
I would say just being in Croatia generally, I like it. It's nice. It's different to the UK
Yeah. Have
in
you-
many different aspects.
Yeah. And you love the sea and everything.
I
You're very
do.
outdoor. In fact, your whole family, aren't they? You like to do mountain climbing and all
Yeah.
that sort of good stuff.
Not, I wouldn't say everybody.
No, okay, but
Some.
you and your mum, you're very,
Yeah.
you like swimming, for instance.
I
Swimming's
do,
a big
I
thing.
love it.
Yeah, perfect. So, would you recommend it to other young people at Kandu, or in fact, or anyone else that you can think of about travelling, not just to Croatia,
I
but
would. Because it's a great learning experience when you do
Right,
it
good.
firsthand instead
Yeah.
of just looking at videos.
yes, that's it, isn't it? It's that experiential
Yeah.
thing. So the smells, when I say the smells, I mean the cooking, but also I mean the pine.
The tasting, the food.
Absolutely
the
different
feeling
food.
of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The
Hearing about all the different cultures and aspects of the language.
Because we went to that village,
Yeah.
didn't we? So it's
That
been totally.
had-
Just in case anyone thinks we're having a laugh, you have done loads of
I have.
education.
Yes.
You have done the museum that was at the launch of that
Yeah.
exhibition. Tell everyone what that was about
The museum.
last night. That exhibition.
Yeah. Wasn't it artwork or no? They were digging up things.
Absolutely. So
History, old
it-
history that was underneath Croatia itself.
underneath Stari Grad. So
Yes,
when they were
Stari
renovating
Grad.
the roads, they found, because this is, as you said at the beginning of this,
Very old country.
it's the well the
very
country.
old town.
It's the oldest town, exactly, kind of
In
existing
Europe.
town in Europe. Well done. So basically, they, in taking layers and layers and layers of the ancient sort of roadways through the old town,
Yeah.
they discovered those beautiful mosaics.
Yeah. They also found a massive skeleton as
Yeah,
well.
yes, that's right. There was just loads of amazing things. But if you look into the history of this place, it is amazing. It was first
It is.
settled by the Greeks, and then the Romans took
Yeah.
over. Well, you know what they're like. And it has got this amazing depth, but they have, the archaeology of it was quite amazing.
It was.
But in the same way, do you not think when we went to that village, which was essentially dying,
It is. It only has 15 people in there. if I
15
remember
people,
rightly.
and that fantastic
out
guy,
Out of 608 a million years ago.
a million years
Well,
ago, but
round about that.
well, I don't know about a
More or
million
less.
years ago. I think it was probably it first had electricity in the 60s, and it does have
So
the
a
whole.
couple hundred then.
No, what do you mean that it's been there, or
Yeah.
since it had people in it?
No, since it's been there.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you meant since people left. Because this is the thing about countries that depend on tourism or start investing in tourism. People don't want to do the hard physical work like the lavender,
Yeah.
like those beautiful stone
It
walls
is.
that we saw, and that all the
Yeah, all
books and the
covered in
photographs.
lavender.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was beautiful. So it's been cultural. It's been
Yeah.
historic. You've learnt different things.
Yeah.
You've been inspired. What will you take away from this trip?
I would say learning about the culture itself.
Yeah.
And the way how they adapted around everything else.
Yeah, man, that's exactly right. This is the first that the Stari Grad plain where the Greeks first
It
actually
is.
enclosed fields is the UNESCO site because of that. So yeah, there is. You're right. There's lots of fascinating historical aspects, but as well as that, have you just relaxed and enjoyed yourself?
Yes.
Because you've earned that. I was very proud of
have.
you. I know your mum was when we were in that school yesterday. It blew my mind, actually, I have to tell you, because, as you know, I'm married to a Croatian for
And
her
you
sins.
still can't speak it.
That's it. So I was actually totally impressed, mildly shocked, and a little bit scared when you started talking in front of all those kids. I was thinking, I hope she's saying something.
Well, there's more kids in a class than in Stari Grad. There's more kids in the class in the UK.
Oh yeah,
There was less kids.
Yeah, in that school there were less kids in each classroom, and it was kind of different feel altogether, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, that's good. Anything else you want to say?
No?
Well, I just want to say thank you very much.
You're
We really
welcome.
appreciate being an ambassador, not just for Kandu Arts for sustainable development, but for Chippenham, for the schools in Chippenham, for the people of Chippenham, and for the people of England. This one's a good one. She done good.
Yeah.
I say, Nelly for president. Or maybe prime minister. Do we need a new prime minister? I think we do. Nice one, you. High five. Thank you. It's a wrap.